Thank you so much for joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, yeah, I'll start with my professional journey. So I started my career in 2019 with TCS. I've joined TCS through campus placement. I worked there for 2 years as IT service manager. In July 2021, I moved to Kindle. Here I'm currently working as major incident manager. My day-to-day activities involve with dealing with high priority and critical incidents. I would take the complete ownership of the major incidents once it's reported till complete resolution of that incident. I would also schedule technical and uh, management bridges, provide updates to the user and other stakeholders as well. I would
Okay.
also roll out notifications for every major incident that would be reported. Yes.
Okay, great. Let's start with the very basics here. What is the major incident management process in your current organization?
Yes, so we basically receive a major incident from service desk that would be in the form of a call or email. So once the incident has been reported, as major incident manager, I would analyze the business impact and urgency and promote it to major incident. Once the incident has been promoted, I would be creating a task to the resolver group, and then
Okay,
I roll out an initial notification. So once this has been sent, I would be parallelly starting a technical call. So resolver groups, users, and application owners would join the call, and troubleshooting would happen. So once we found out the issue has been resolved, I would be sending out a resolve communication as well. So and I would be resolving the incident in the ServiceNow tool. Yes. So once the incident has been resolved and we found out the root cause, we would be doing a post-incident analysis. Yeah.
okay, okay, great. Okay, so in your vast experience, can you explain one of your most satisfactory experience as an incident manager or major incident manager?
Yeah, so basically, we encounter mostly major incidents related to network issues. So there was a time wherein the network, the network is they have. We had a network outage globally. So none of the
Okay,
users were able to connect to any applications, even to the mail, even to the Outlook Teams and all. So we immediately started a P1 bridge. So yeah, the management and business users were really worried about this because this is a very global outage and they want a resolution as soon as possible. So during troubleshooting, we found out that the data center, core router in the data center is completely, out. So we
okay,
have to replace the router in the data center. So we immediately raised a case with the vendor to replace the router. So as a workaround, the technical teams has routed the traffic to another data center, which has been, since it was a workaround, few major users were able to connect to internet. So within few hours, we were able to replace. The vendor was able to replace the router also. So this was a permanent fix which the technical teams has given to that particular outage.
okay, great. Okay, so now I will move, some situation-based questions. So take your time,
Yes.
okay, and
Yeah.
then tell me what your response is. Okay, so let's say you had a major incident and it is resolved now. Okay,
Hmm.
but a key stakeholder feels that there are means they have some concerns which were not addressed adequately. Okay, so
Okay.
you resolved it, but
Hmm.
the manager or maybe client is not satisfied. So how you would handle such feedback? What you
Yeah.
will do in that case as a incident manager, major incident manager?
Yeah, so basically, get in a call with that stakeholder and understand what is his concern and try to note it out. And during the post-incident review call, I would bring up all these points like what the stakeholder is feeling, like why he is unsatisfactory with the resolution, and we try to bring in the technical teams and discuss like what needs to be done in order to provide a satisfactory resolution to that stakeholder. So once we have the resolution, permanent resolution, I would be making a note of everything that has been captured, and and come back to the stakeholder, give him that we are planning to do this and to do this, and give him the timeline like this would be completed in so and so time, so that he would be assured. I would assure him like this would be completely done within the given time frame. Yeah. So once this has been done, I would again go back to the stakeholder and take the feedback from him again.
Okay, so in the same scenario,
Hmm.
major incident is resolved. So in your
Hmm.
current organization,
Hmm.
how much more time you take to kind of wait till like let's say it's resolved, but
Hmm.
how much time you have to wait and monitor that incident or these things until unless
Yes.
everything goes very simple steady state.
Yes, we basically keep, I mean, we keep the incident in resolve state for 5 business days, and we would be trying to give I mean, the problem management team would try to find the root cause analysis within these 5 business days and close the incident as soon as possible. If there are cases like something needs to be replaced in the site or some change needs to be performed, we basically inform the client that the time frame that has to, I mean, that we are taking, and then seek approval from them and do that particular permanent fix.
Okay, okay, great. So one more situation here. How would you handle a situation where one of your team member made an error that
Hmm.
significantly worsened the major incident? And if you have any example, that would be great.
Yeah, so yes, so there would be, I mean, let's consider an example of assigning a wrong team. I mean, assigning the incident to a wrong stakeholder or to a wrong resolver group
Mhm.
because of confusion in the impact or in the statement which the users have provided. There could be chance that we might confuse and assign it to a wrong team. So in that case, I mean, if even if the resolver groups join the call and start troubleshooting the issue, they would be very clear that this particular issue is not in the criteria, and they would definitely push the incident back to the correct assignment group. So in that case, there would be a loss of time. We would be wasting like around 15 to 20
Uh-huh.
minutes in this whole process. Yeah. So in order to make sure like this, I mean, mitigate this process, I would assure the client like this. I mean, there has been a mistake from my end, from our end, and we make sure that this wouldn't repeat again in the future, and assure him like we are working on the incident and provide him updates regularly. So I would convince him like sorry for our mistake and all, and we generally follow the same process which we follow other MIM. Again, and then after the incident has been resolved during the post incident review, we make sure like we don't repeat this kind of mistakes furtherly. Like we ensure like what, I mean, we train our resources, I mean, who has made the mistake or the entire team to like whom needs what need which group needs to be assigned, and what things we need to keep in mind while assigning this thing and everything. And we also, I mean, if possible, we can also create a document like I mean, document regarding what issues requires which team and all. So this could be helpful and handy, right, for every member. If they are confused, they can go and pick the document and refer to that.
Okay, okay. So documentation should be there.
Yeah, as well as training also. Maybe training helps because if a new resource is making this mistake, there is a lack of training and knowledge for him. So in
Right.
that case, we make sure like to train him properly before jumping him into the production.
Okay, okay, great. So now let's move on to the outages. Okay, so being a major incident manager, you must have seen outages, right? And these
Yes.
are very, uncomfortable or you can say risky situations.
Hmm.
So, keeping that in mind, I have a question like, how would you handle a situation where a critical service outage is caused by a plan change? Okay, and that
Yes.
plan change was already approved but not
Hmm.
tested properly.
Yeah. Yes, we encounter these kind of situations, I mean, regularly. So this is basically a lack from change management. And there could be cases like the testing would be perfect. I mean, testing is passed in a staging environment, but couldn't replicate in the production environment. So in
Hmm.
that case, the testing has to be done very properly. I mean, they should ensure like the change shouldn't be fail in order, because if it fails then it could be a huge impact and major incident would be caused, right? So we make sure like we advise change management to team to continue, I mean, to make like 3 iterations of testing in different environments replicating the production. So in that case, there couldn't be any way of missing the change, actually the change being unsuccessful. Even if there are cases like the change is unsuccessful and major incident has been created, we try to roll back the change as soon as possible and
Hmm.
schedule another. another change with all the steps taken, like testing it in a three or four, testing the change in product. I mean, staging environment, replicating the production like 2 to 3 times. So that would be helpful.
So how you make sure that testing is done properly? So what all benchmarks you have in your current organization or based on your experience?
I mean, this would be taken care by change management because they have an idea. I mean, as well as the resolver group who are implementing the change, because they have an idea like what is the staging environment and what is the production environment. If
Hmm.
they try to replicate this, the staging environment in a perfect way as a production environment, there couldn't be a change to. I mean, there couldn't be a chance to chance for the change to be missed, right. I mean, the change couldn't be failed, right. So they make sure like what needs to be done in that case.
Okay, okay. So one more question on this failures, okay, outages. So an outage occurs due to some infrastructure failure
No.
outside your organizational control.
Hmm.
You have third parties already. Maybe you
Yes.
are placing your data in some third party data center. So
Hmm.
in this situation, being a major incident manager, how you tackle the situation, keeping up to date with the issue as well as calming the client. So, or what sort of things you do here in this situation?
Yeah, so basically infrastructure failures happen like if there is improper maintenance at the site. So in that case, even if the major incident is reported, I assure the client like we first will be resolving this major incident and calm down the client, and then give him assurance like these kind of issues wouldn't be repeated again, and we make sure to maintain the site properly with proper maintenance, changes being scheduled, I mean land refresh activities are everything on a monthly basis or bi-weekly basis, so that the client could be assured like okay, this needs to be done and all. Yeah, I also make sure to check with the local IT support, like what has been wrong and what went wrong and why did this happen, and also give him like a heads up, like we need to do this the planned activities and the maintenance planned activities every week or twice a week when the business users are not available, so that the major incident doesn't repeat frequently.
Okay, okay, and what all measures you take against this third party?
Yeah, we make sure to we make sure to give them heads up like this shouldn't be repeated again. If there is a repetition of these kind of incidents again, there could be some kind of penalty or something for them.
Okay, okay,
There could be some, what do you say, the charges like if the SLA is missed, we need an exception from the third parties, right. So we try to seek out from them, so we give a heads up like to maintain the site in a proper way by doing regular maintenance activities, land refresh activities and everything.
okay, okay. Fair enough. So okay, so being a major incident manager, it's a very, it's not a easy call because you have to deal with high profile clients, right?
Yes.
So you have to deal with the executives which are at very high top level, and frankly, these are not technical person most of the time.
Hmm.
So in this case, keeping this in mind, how would you handle a situation where a high profile customer publicly criticizes the organization's response to a particular major incident?
Yes. So yeah, in this case,
It
to be
happens,
frank,
right? It happens. Most of the, even
yes.
I have done for service now, yeah,
Huh.
on high. Okay, so uh,
I
how
mean,
you, as a major incident manager, how you handle such situation?
you were asking like how do I handle the dissatisfaction of customer?
Kind of, yeah. Like he
Mm.
already criticizing what, how you
Yes,
handled
yes.
a particular major incident, right? They are not
Mm.
happy the way
Mm.
you have handled it. So now
Mm.
they are criticizing you, means your organization. So
Okay.
in this case, what would be your response?
Yeah, in this case, like I would check with him, like what where we have gone wrong and what was the dissatisfaction that caused to him. Yeah, I would like to note. Make note of everything which he has given to me, like what kind. Whether he is dissatisfactory with the major incident manager or with the process or with the time frames which we are working or with the vendors we are working, and make sure to bring this points to the leadership in our organization,
Hmm.
and And no, I mean, ask, I mean, seek updates from them, like what needs to be done in order to improve our service. Let's suppose say if the customer is dissatisfactory with the SLA timings we are providing, we make sure to, I mean, I bring up the this point to the leadership, and I mean suggest like we need to improve our SLA times, I mean response or resolution SLA time, so that the customer is happy with the service we are providing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this could related to some kind of process improvements, like the escalation path. Let's suppose, say, if the customer is unhappy with the way we are escalating the issue, so we can, I mean, we can do hierarchical and functional escalations in order to resolve the issue faster. So I suggest this to the leadership so that the leadership bring these points. I mean, we create a process and get back to the client in a more professional way.
Okay, great, great. So I'm seeing your CV here. Okay, in that you have under skills root cause analysis.
Hmm.
So give me one example. Uh, how you know have like in what way you have done root cause analysis. Give me one real time example which you have faced or you have implemented.
Yes, so we basically, I mean, as a major incident manager, once the major incident has been resolved, we create a problem record and submit it to the problem management team. So, problem management team would be performing this root cause analysis. So, in our organization, we follow five eyes analysis. So, we basically do five eyes technique and try to find out the root cause. So, I would be, as a major incident manager, I would be a part of the root cause analysis call. So I basically observe like what are the five eyes. I mean, what are the I mean, what are the things they are doing in order to find the root cause of this incident? So let's suppose say like there is an VPN issue in any customer location or global outage. So
Mm-hmm.
they try to, I mean, the problem management team try to ask the why questions to the customer and to the resolver groups, like why did the issue happen? I mean, if there is some X reason, like, I mean, they try to pull out like five, I mean, why questions, like why this happened, why did this happen, what was the reason for this, and they try to find out the root cause, like, I mean, permanent root cause, like, I mean, why this VPN issue happen globally. So once they find out like why did this happen, they would be finding out the root cause for. I mean, they can replicate the root cause also, right? Like, since this has happened, this has to be the root cause. So they would be permanently fixing the issue with that root cause. So in this issue, we found out like the global VPN issue, which I'm saying, we found out like there was certificate expiry on the backend. So this was expired because the certificate was expired because the license was not been updated by the resolver group. So they immediately renewed the license and certificates were renewed. So this was the root cause actually.
Okay. Were you be a part of SLAs as well, like defining SLAs and all, being
Yeah,
a
we
incident manager?
we make sure to maintain the SLA. Like for P1s, we have an SLA of 4 hours. For P2, we have an SLA of 16 hours. So I basically make sure that the SLA is not being missed to any major incident.
Do you know what are retroactive SLAs?
Sorry?
What are retroactive SLAs?
Retrospective. No, 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 I'm not having any idea.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let's move into, how to handle stressful situations. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say there is a major incident and one of the senior executive interrupts the live bridge call with some
Hmm.
unrealistic demands.
Okay.
Okay, and that obviously increases the tension among the team, like you all are sitting and technical team is also there. So being a manager means being a major incident manager, how would you handle such situation? And you should not escalate the stress further. You have
Hmm.
to uh,
Calm down. Yeah.
yeah, calm down both, right? You have
Hmm.
to manage both. So how you do that?
Yes.
And do you
Yeah.
have any real-time experience with such thing? That would be great.
Yes, so in real time, if I want to talk, like there was a situation that like the senior manager from the resolver group joined and he was making the whole troubleshooting out of the box. Like he was trying to, I mean, he was trying to make things which are not related to the issue I mean, at any point. So in at that moment, what I did was like I made the senior leadership understood like we are going out of the box and this is not the scenario we are working on and we are
Hmm.
working on another scenario. So I mean, he was very frustrated with the things which are happening because it has been a lot. if the SLA is missed in their assignment group, they have to provide the assignment. So he started to bring out like other possible ways, like this needs to be done, that needs to be done, this needs to be checked and all. So I made sure like the all the checkpoints which you are trying to provide us now were already being completed, and even if you do that now, that would be, I mean, the time would be wasted and the SLA would be furtherly moved in progress. So I calmed down the senior leadership saying that this has been already done and we are trying to check other things which you are not providing us. So I made sure like I asked him to hold on for some time and observe the things which the team is doing, and if they are missing out to do something, you can suggest them to do. I also pulled in my manager in order to make the situation calm, because he was not he was not in a way to listen to me. So I
Hmm.
thought like escalation from my end also, if there is escalation from my end also, he would be in a situation to listen and calm down. So I brought in my manager also, and the situation was calmed down for 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, I mean, since he was a leadership, since senior leadership manager, he found out like the resolve. I mean, his team members who were the resolver groups were doing some mistakes in the way they are troubleshooting the issue. So in that way, so he came again in the between and suggested him like this needs to be done in order to resolve the issue. So
Okay.
that was done. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. So you're handling all these things previously as well, right?
Yeah.
Great. Great. Okay. Next question is maybe a last question. Uh,
Hmm.
your experience is in which vertical, like insurance or any, which
Yes.
vertical you have major experiences?
So, I mean, these are like, in TCS, I was working with a client called as Yara. That is an agriculture-based client. So, these company used to provide fertilizers, the equipments and everything to agriculture sites. Whereas in Kindle, I'm working for a client called as Thames Water. This is a water-based plant in UK, which has like around 100 plus domestic sites in UK.
Hmm.
So, this water plant basically purifies the water from scratch and provides water to to the users, like this could be the households as well as to any retail stores or manufacturing stores. So this is just like a water plant which we have in India too, like the mineral water bottles. So
Okay. So, how much the domain knowledge matters being a role of, major incident manager. Let's say you got an offer for a banking domain for the same role, right?
hmm.
So how much you think you have your own experiences and all, but to be a, good at their company, at that company, because they have a banking domain. So how much domain knowledge you think is necessary uh, in order to, best suited in these roles?
Yes. So, in my view, major incident manager need not to be technical in any domain, because we basically follow a predefined process and we need to be very strong in the way we are dealing with the process and with the client. So,
Okay.
communication plays the best and major role here. The way we handle things in our own way is the only thing which we can do to any customer. The way we handle escalations, the way we deal with stressful or frustrated customers is what a major incident manager basically needs, other than technical or domain knowledge. So
Okay.
in my view, I mean, if we are into if since I'm into agriculture industry, I already know few terms related to agriculture or networks and all. If I am put into some banking industry, I would basically get to know like what is there. I mean, we just need to understand what is happening with the call, but not understand why is this happening. That is not necessary. I mean, that is not our part. We just need to go through like what is happening, and if we are in a way to provide the same update to the customer or not is our part.
Okay. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm done with the discussion. You have any question?
Yeah, so can I ask them offline, or will that be okay in the recording?
If you are okay, I'm okay.
Yes, yeah, I'm okay. So how do you rate myself? Like what
Your communication is
aspect?
good and your responses are good. Just try to, speak a bit slow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, means the speed is a bit like, more, just a bit slow so that the person on the other side will also have some understanding. Okay.
Hmm.
Properly, so that I will come up with a few more questions,
Hmm.
back-to-back questions so that based on your response. So apart from that, rest all is fine. I think you are good and good communication.
Yes. So you were asking me something from proactive SLS or something
Retroactive,
retroactive.
retrospective, sorry, retrospective.
Okay, okay, retrospective. Okay.
Yeah, just go through it. So very basic concept.
Hmm.
So you'll get to
Yes.
know what a retrospective SL is. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Apart from,
yeah,
did I miss anything? Like, how do you feel my answers were?
no answers are good. Okay, but one thing, whatever you have mentioned in your resume, okay, so make sure you have go you before going to an interview itself, you should have uh, some good
Knowledge.
examples. Okay,
Okay.
so let's say you mentioned RCA. So for RCA, just think about your best example and write it down, or maybe just rehearse it. Not rehearse, not I'm not
Hmm.
asking to just
Practice.
doing, yeah, just uh, think about it and try to explain that. Okay, and if
No.
you do it before call or before your during your preparation time, it will be great when actually you go to interview and somebody ask about it. So example should be top notched, and
Yes.
that you will do based on your experience only, right? So
Hmm.
just you have to think what was the situation, what is the outcome, and how much time you have saved. Just do not narrate the whole incident. Okay, only
Okay.
the basic, only the good things which the interviewer want to know, like how much time you have saved, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And what all services which were critical, which got hampered and they are up. So all
Okay.
these are the things which they are expecting, not the
Okay.
whole incident. Okay, just basic
Okay.
these things and then you are good. So just
Okay.
keep all these things already ready
Hmm.
before you go to interview based on your resume. Rest all
Hmm.
they can ask from anything, right? But
Yes. Yes.
in order to judge you, they have your resume only. So
Yeah.
you have options to go through your resume and prepare examples based on that.
Yes, yes, sure. So one more question, like you were asking me regarding the senior, I mean, criticizing the organization, right? Some senior leadership is criticizing the organization. So how do we deal that? So the response which I gave is like okay, or do I need to improve that?
No, no, your response was good. Actually, this that whatever you were telling was your real-time situation, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that is good. How to handle it? You handle it well. You have to include your manager if they are not listening. Do not to be, we should not, uh, be in any argument or anything with those. So you
Hmm.
have to keep your cards ready. Your manager is the next one if they are not listening. So
Hmm.
response was, I think, okay based on my experience.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much. I'll
Yeah.
get back to you by tomorrow. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Hmm. Bye.